I got a lot of recorded music that needs to drop, but we got like me and Tony Seltzer got the part 2 for Pinball.
Oh wow!
Yeah, like shit low-key been done. We got I got some shit with Surf Gang as well, low-key that
Shout out
we
Surf
working
Gang,
on.
man.
Yeah, the legends Harrison and Gianni, those are the ghosts. I got some personal shit I'm planning on dropping. I'm still figuring out the date, but I think it's gonna be called Man in the Mirror.
Why Man in the Mirror?
I think I'm about to enter my Michael Jackson bag, low key, for real. I think it's time to be a smooth criminal.
Yo, it's your boy Hakeem, and this interview is sponsored by Prize Picks. And Prize Picks is a skill-based, real money, daily fantasy sports game. You can pick up to 2 to 6 players, and if they will go more or less than their Prize Pick projection, you can win up to 100 times your money on any entry. In Prize Picks, you aren't competing against other people. It's just you versus the projections. Available instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks. Come on. Prize Pick entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. Prize Picks offers frequent discounts, bonuses, and other exciting offers. Players can choose from a vast selection of sports, stat types not offered anywhere else. They can even pick in-game projections after a game has started, which includes halves, quarters, periods, and more. Go to Prize Picks and use code OGM for the first deposit match up to $100. Now, if you're not hearing me, that's go to Prize Picks and use code OGM for the first deposit match up to $100. Go to Prize Picks. Let's get the game started. Yo, it's your boy Hakeem, and you are watching Our Generation Music. And today, man, I got an extremely rare, very special one. The guy, the one and only Mike, man. What's up, brother?
My dog. Cool, man. Appreciate you for having me, man.
Nah, man, appreciate you stopping by. It's been extremely busy for you the last couple months, to say the least. Like, bro, you've been on the road for like, what, 3-4 months now?
It's been a bit, like, basically since like February. We did Europe, had like a 2-week break, hit US type shit.
Sheesh, man.
Shit keep going.
And this is the Somebody Find Me Trouble tour that you're on.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, I went on tour one time with Xavier Wolf, and it was super fire. But I feel like one thing that people don't know that's crucial about a tour is the gas station runs in between every stop. What is like Mike's like essential like, this is what I'm getting out the gas station?
Ooh, it depends. I feel like my shit always like, every year it kind of goes through like an evolution. Like when I first started off, my shit would just be like whatever could fit in my pocket. Cause you just be stealing shit. Yeah. And I never realized that when you on the highway, like them niggas that be at the register do not be giving a fuck at all. So I used
trying to clock in and out.
Yeah, literally.
Go ahead, bro.
But then as I got older, niggas had to start being more professional. Honestly, like Ruffles, cheddar, it's like cheddar and sour cream.
Classic.
And some type of fruit snack. Gummy bear type of vibe.
Or a gusher.
Yeah. A gusher, I fuck with gushers, but I can't do the whole thing of gush. I feel like then I'm like doing too much, cause like yeah. Like,
I know what you mean.
When the shit start gushing, I'm like, nah.
No, did
But yeah, and then like right now it's like a yerba mate or a water.
Yerba mate,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, the yerba mate be having me like, cause the van could get a little bit late. It's like a lazy spirit and they're like napping and shit. So the yerba mate keep me up and like productive and shit.
Yeah, I feel like it's also funny too, like whenever someone doesn't smoke on the van, it's just be the worst for them because they just get a contact high.
Yeah, my homie, the homie that be DJing for me, Taka, do not smoke. And he be in the back of the van going through. But he's that's like my big brother, but he's like a very particular person. He's like, bruh, like, I don't know why y'all smoking in the whip. And then whenever we smoke in the whip, we gotta keep the windows down. The nigga hate the cold. He be mad as fucking.
You gotta choose one. What's the lesser evil there? Gotta just choose one. But that was me, cause I ain't smoke, bro. But the amount of contact highs I caught, bro, it's crazy. I'm like, fuck it. It is what it is, man. So you also, with this tour, America and overseas, what would you say is like the noticeable difference with, performing in America and overseas on this tour?
Ooh, the difference. I say the difference. I guess the difference is the people. I always think of like there's like different archetypes of people. I think in Europe they just like a little bit more like aggressive. Like yeah, like
What do you mean by that?
just like I think like, and it's crazy because this is not necessarily in like the most worst way, but like the white culture out there is just like a little bit more like I feel like that's where white people really from. So like yeah, so I feel like they be like standing in they like and they shit a little bit different. Like I was telling the homie the other day, like when you take a picture with a fan from out there, like the nigga might put his hand around your waist.
Go too close. Don't understand personal space. Like 10 feet, my nigga.
Yeah, and then it's like they like like this is how you like get down out here. They like to type like then let's like go get like a lager or some shit. And I'm like, you know what? This is turn, but it do be a little bit like too turn sometimes.
They're more like hitting like, yo, we actually go to this pub right here. Like, you want to come have some drinks with us? And
Exactly.
they be like, damn, yeah, I guess so. Fuck it. Like
sometimes it's turn. That's why I actually fuck with them out there. It's super tough. I fuck with them. But out here, I think it's a little bit more of like it's a aggressiveness, but I think America has like a lot of passive aggressiveness.
Definitely.
Yeah,
does.
so it's a lot different. Like niggas be like, oh, like I don't know. Yeah, it's funny. The shit that be having me dead. People be mad shy in the crowd, but then after the show, be like, yo, like, could you please talk about shit like that? I'm like, oh, like. It's so funny how like people in different places like react to like different shit. But,
yeah. What's been your favorite fan like interaction you've had? Because something you speak on in your music obviously is depression and just everything that you're going through, good, bad, whatever it is. Like, you have any like maybe a life-changing interaction or just like a good one?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really grateful for the niggas that support my music. I be getting like a lot of crazy just like crazy stories or like one that I had peeped when we was in London. This couple, I guess like when they had first got together, they was like the dude would like play his shawty my music and shit. And then for one of the London shows we did not last year, just like 2 months ago or last month. They had got married like right before the show and then came to the show to celebrate.
Wow.
Yeah, that shit was hella beautiful. In Dublin, there's this dude, he's a fan of my music and his daughters are also fans of my music, like young as fuck. And I guess their mom had passed recently and he was like, yeah, like your music helps them a lot and shit. And then he was telling me like, yeah, they too young to come to the show, but like they would love to meet you before the show if you could. And I had pulled up on them, like the dad and the daughters before the show. There was one daughter who's like the older daughter who was like shy as fuck. Like it was so funny because I was like, I could tell you probably actually really listen to my music. And then the younger daughter was just super turnt, like, yo, what's up? And then like we all took a picture. The like younger daughter's in the front, like, yo, the other daughter's in the back. Like it was funny as fuck. Cause I be thinking like, bro, like young people is like, those are the people you gotta impress low-key the most because they'll really like read you, like, you know what I mean? So that shit had me hella nervous, but then after the Pops had like posted pics of all of them in the show, because I guess the security guards had seen what was going on. It was like, fuck it, they could come inside. And then like the kids was like rapping the lyrics to the show and shit. That shit was funny as fuck. But I was grateful because I never realized my music could even reach like a young crowd like that, you know what I mean?
And it's crazy too because there's so many new ways that music is hitting that younger crowd with TikTok and all these different things. Like you got to think like you're constantly being reintroduced to a new generation through an app. Like we might have found our music off blogs, and now these kids are finding it off TikTok or they're finding it off a new app that gets created next week. You know what I mean? It's insane. It's like it's also dope because it also gives artists, a more fighting chance. Something you spoke about early on in your career is even wanting to give up, right? You was like, I was about to say fuck this shit.
No cap.
But I feel like now even more, like you know, these apps and these different things are giving people more of a chance. Like niggas is just popping up. Like I was about to say quit last week. Now my song went number 1.
For real. Nah, it's crazy. That was the shit. Like, even when I be thinking about like the times where I feel like, oh, like maybe it's time to quit. Like, I be like, fuck, like, bro, this shit has been written since so long ago. But also just like the possibility of music. I be telling my homies, like, this shit is literally like magic. Like, your life would be one way one day, and then the next day it'd just be different. Whether it's 300 people listening to your music or 300,000, you know what I mean? It's the fact that, like, there's somebody in Tennessee, somewhere you might have never been before, who like, yo, you my favorite rapper. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, and that shit is just life-changing. Like, I be telling niggas, like, bro, like, I'm trying to be lit. I definitely trying to like get to this bag, but like more so like I want to be able to go to different places and niggas just have like some type of respect for me, like awesome, like yeah, like we'll give you some shit out of the store or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's, you know, you want to be visibly more seen and known, right? What do you feel like, you know, an artist like you, because you make a certain type level of art and, you know, craftsmanship to your music that isn't necessarily always at the forefront of culture. You know, what do you feel like is the steps for you to even get to there? Like, what would you, you know, do differently? Because the one thing I would say that I did notice on Pinball, the song with you and On God with you, Earl and Tony, I was like, this is some shit right here. Because it's like, you know, you get Mike, you know, rapping Mike and this and that, but the bounce, you know what I mean? The melody, you know what I mean? Like it was also like you could have possibly heard like V's on that or like Newt, you know what I mean?
Nah,
like
sure.
It was just perfect balance, and I think, you know, records like that would, you know, kind of do it.
Yeah, I think for me, like I feel like even when starting to work on that project with Tony, I think the thing for me more so what I was like prioritizing was trying to work on different styles of rap music. And I've always, like, if you go through my Spotify, most of the music I listen to is like turn shit, but also a lot of different shit. But that's like music that I definitely be listening to a lot. And I feel like I would have tracks or I have like albums where I would try and sprinkle a little bit of that in there. But like, it was cool working with Tony because I really got to see like what the full thing was. And also even like, I feel like sometimes with my type of music that I would make for my own personal albums would have sometimes such a niche like kind of sound to it that I feel like wouldn't necessarily be too like accessible for many people. So I think working with Tony, like, it was cool because I was able to like work with artists that I really fuck with, but like never necessarily had like the place to work on these things with, you know what I mean? And I don't know, it definitely, because I understand what you mean when it's like, all right, now you're making these tracks that like could definitely be more palatable for, you know.
Like,
but it's
I also think that's really dangerous, right? For someone like you, because you can rap, right?
100.
So it's like, I feel like, you know, you see, to me, V's is kind of like that too, where V's, he can rap too, right? But he's rapping on this different type of tempo and different type of laid back swag, and it's even like an origins of Lucky. Like Lucky really rapped, and then it's the tempo and the sound kind of changed. So I think it'll be dangerous for, you know, someone like you rapping on some, like, niggas is gonna hear that. That shit's gonna go crazy.
Nah, for sure. And I think for me, even too, is like I try and I'm always the type of person that I feel like I try and work in a way where I'm able to set what I want for myself, regardless of what trends are going on around me or even what people are expecting for the time. Because I had the same type of nervousness like when I was working on the project. I was like, oh, we really about to release this shit. Like, I'm like, I was just doing this shit for fun, you know what I mean? Like in the studio turn. But then I'm like, I feel like for me, it was just, like, this is kind of like an opportunity for me to continue to push the fact that, like, I could do whatever I want, you know what I mean? And, like, if I could last through that shit, bro, I've lasted through, like, one of the projects that, like, got a lot of people to, like, really stick along the ride and shit was War in My Pen. And that's like a project where it's a lot of my original like first beats, some shit where I'm like, I was bullshitting on Ableton, you know what I mean? But like people hear that shit and see something from it, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I've already done the risk, like taking the risk, you know what I mean? And like, I did that, like whether I knew people were gonna stay along or not. And like, I think just having faith that like, regardless of what type of music I make, people are just gonna have respect for me as an artist. Like that's kind of like the pushing factor of it all. Cause I dropped that shit with Tony, but then like, I could drop like anything, you know, anything could come next. You know what I mean? But, and that's the fun of it too, because I feel like I'm just adding different pieces to like this world that's like continuing to grow and like
and you know, to hit on world building with you, I think it's super dope, especially like your covers, visuals, and everything, especially your cover art from, you know, whether it's a post for a flyer or it's a post for your album. Like, talk a little bit about that, because the vision there and just the art that comes from, you know, these things that you put out is very dope.
Nah, I appreciate that shit. Yeah, a lot of that shit, I grew up, when I was going to high school in Brooklyn, a lot of my older homies that was doing music shit and like art shit all went to like art, like colleges and shit. Like a lot of my homies went to Cooper Union. There's this artist, Lawson Malone. I don't know if you heard of him.
Nah, check her out.
Yeah. He's sick, but they had like went to Cooper Union. I had the homies Slum Rugglers and shit who went to Cooper Union, who was just like on some super like high art shit. And then like that's where I would go. Like they would do like these gallery shows every month where like you would see the art and then there'd be like free wine and shit. So like on some young nigga shit, I would just like go there and drink wine and like be like seeing all this shit. But that shit influenced a lot of my art and always just had me looking at like just like putting out, even with the projects, like I want the project to feel like the artwork, you know what I mean? And be able to like, as intricate like paint, like a paintbrush could get, you know what I mean? Make the music also be that intricate. So all that stuff just really, really inspired me.
I feel like also what's dope about you is that you've lived so many different places. So it's been so many different things you can pull from and different influences that you have that you're able to, you know, convey on your music, right? Talk a little bit about that, because I'm sure you've noticed that yourself too. It's like there's so many different things I can get. Like, you know what I mean? And
nah, for sure. I'm grateful as fuck. I feel like when I was younger, it kind of sucked. Cause I feel like, you know when you young and you moving around.
I gotta move again.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, bro. That shit used to kill me, like, and then you trying to keep up with like old friends and shit, but then it's like, nigga, I'm 10 years old. Nigga, I'm like, bro, like, yeah.
You asking too much right now, bro. I can't come back. Like, what do you want me to do, nigga?
No, cat, like for real, I cannot come back, bro. But it'd be like that shit. But I was also just taking in so much information, like so much information. I used to be a way quieter kid too when I was younger. So I would just my brain was just like everything. Like I was born in New Jersey, then I was living with my mom and my dad, and then me and my mom moved to England when I was like 5 years old. We was staying in like London, like East London, Hackney. And then a year after, we moved to Essex, like Raynham. I was staying in like outside of London. There's this show called Geordie Shore. That's basically like the English version of Jersey Shore. And it's like, yeah, that's what Essex is like.
That exists.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Essex is like.
And you're a nigga that gets both now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's fuck. So yeah, I hit that shit. Then after that shit, moved to Philadelphia with my pops. Just the only like English nigga in Philadelphia, like talking with an English accent. I spent a summer out there. That summer I completely like lost my English accent, just like fully locked in Philadelphia. It was fucking ridiculous. And my sister was from out there too. She went to this high school called Abraham Lincoln, like before I came, and she was just like whooping ass in there. So like that was like my only like real like vouch out there and shit. And my middle school was like Abraham Lincoln was like the worst high school in Philadelphia, and then my middle school was like, it was on the news like the worst middle school in Philadelphia, and the shit was just like, my shit was right here, and then there was a gate, and then the Abraham Lincoln on the other side, And it's funny as fuck because I always used to say like that shit is literally like a pipeline because you can literally walk from the back of Abraham, the back of Austin Meehan to Abraham Lincoln. So yeah, saying that shit around them times like that's when niggas like in Philly everybody listening to like dance, like it's like dance music and like
Get Light shit.
It's not even Get Light, like niggas is like tanging like Wu-Tang and shit and like
Oh,
Foot
wow.
Rocker. Yeah, it's
I didn't even know Philly did that.
It's crazy. I'm telling you, like. So many DJs that came out of this shit, like there's this song, I'm the Nike man, I'm the Nike man. They had this shit like pass around the nation, like real like Philly like dance classics type shit. And it was crazy in Philly, like for that shit, like in order for you to be cool, like you had to be hip to that shit. Like you had to know how to dance, you had to know all the tracks and shit. That shit used to be funny as fuck. But that shit also played a big role, I think, in the faster, like me trying to grasp like onto like faster tempos when it comes to like the more jazzy like loopy shit. After Philly, I ended up moving to Brooklyn with my dad and his girl at the time. I was there for like a year and then moved to the Bronx with my auntie. I've been in New York ever since.
Yeah. So, all right. New York, one of my favorite places. Obviously, I'm from Jersey. But I want to know what a day looks like in Mike for Brooklyn. Time Mike wakes up to the time Mike go to sleep. Like, lay out a day in Brooklyn.
All right, well, I'm trying to think of a productive, like a decent, like a productive day. Probably, let's see, summertime, like a time around this time, I probably wake up. First thing I do when I wake up, I have my setup in my room. So I just start playing music, just like maybe play some other like. The one I've been running up a lot in the morning is Loco by Wiz Havin.
Yeah.
That should be turning me up in the morning. And then after I'll start playing beats and shit, see if I can maybe get a rap off or something. Then probably shower. I got a dog, so go let my dog use the bathroom, feed my dog and shit, chill for a sec. Sometimes I be getting into this bag. I be on Call of Duty like shit.
For a couple of hours?
Yeah, I be on Call of Duty like shit. So I could potentially hit Call of Duty on an early one, but hopefully not. If I don't hit Call of Duty on an early one, leave the crib, city bike. I'm about to go hop on an e-bike, like especially when the sun is out. Like literally the summertime, I don't gotta have no plan. I just hop on the e-bike and start riding around and see what niggas on, like just like annoying niggas low key. Yeah, then maybe like hit a function. Once the sun go down, hit a bar or some shit. Kick it with the homies. Eat. Like the one thing we do for real is eat dinner. Like we like that's like my favorite shit to do is just go find a nice restaurant to go eat at. So we're probably.
Are you rolling up in a nice restaurant?
All the time, yeah. Like when niggas are still using the grava leaf. Like I would put the leaf on top of the candle and just let that shit slow roast. Yeah. Just let that shit slow roast. And you'll know it's cooking because it should just start waving like this. I like
Waiter's like,
yeah.
What's that smell?
Well, we already done spent so much money in that jar. It's like, yeah, y'all know, y'all already know.
Back room Mike, man. Walking escorted, man. Yeah, we know they didn't hear the smoking big dope eating pasta. Real mob shit, man.
I'm saying.
That's my favorite shit was they come and get you and be like, yeah, this way. And the people see you walk through the back and like, not one of them.
I'm fucking dead. Nah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. It be love back home for real.
You know, also, you know, we talked about you and Tony doing the project. You and Uncle Al, the
Hell
legend.
yeah. Come on.
He's, you know, literally one of one. I think it's super dope that he's, you know, produced all these songs that we love, you know, the early Prodigy stuff and all these different things to now working with this new generation of spitters, you yourself, Earl, and you know, list goes on.
Yeah.
What's it like, you know, working with someone, you know, like Uncle Al, you know?
I got so much love for that dude, man. I feel like, especially like in this time, like, and I don't even blame niggas because, bro, like, the economy is fucked up, like, but I feel like we in a time where niggas it's like young niggas competing against like old niggas, when like sometimes it like I feel like it's supposed to be those are supposed to be the niggas who's like being your mentor and like putting you on and shit. But I get it too because it's like nigga like we gotta work. Nigga, I'm about to work till I'm like 60, 70 years old. You know what I mean? So I'm like fuck, I get it, bro. But when you got somebody like Al who kind of is looking past that shit and is like, bro, like I'll put you on to like what people put me on to, and like I help you get to the, you know, like the next shit. Like even with the project we had this together, the original one we did with Pata, he had just reached out on some, like, I really did not expect that shit. He just reached out like, bro, I think I gotta play for us. Like, and I'm like, oh fuck. Like I'm not even thinking how big or like what's the real like how major it could get. And he made it seem very, very, very calm. So the whole shit was just like kind of mind blowing. And also just like, bro, like I'll be at our studio chilling like all day, listening to beats or like making my own shit, and just randomly he'll just pull up, give me a tip or like, bro, like, you know, you should lock in with like da like, and that shit just like, in this shit, in the music shit, it could be a very lonesome type of energy in this shit, especially like everybody got their team. Like I got my manager, I got my homies, but other people who's also in this shit with you. Like it's good to have people that's like, yo, this is the way to like try and run this shit up, you know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And show you proof, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna show you proof, so that shit is love for real.
Yeah. Has he ever like challenged you on a beat or anything like that? Like, yo, or is he more someone that just like, I'm gonna leave that here for you, bro?
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. Our studio be funny as fuck because it'd be like half like old niggas and then half young niggas. So like, I feel like some of ours like older homies would be in that jar and they be listening to some of the like weird like weird shit niggas be playing and they be judging the shit out of us. But then it'd be funny because then I'll be the one that low-key be backing us up like, nah, this is the one. Like you just kind of got to listen to it from like the different perspective, you know what I mean? And that should be love because I think he putting them on too, like just to a new way, because I know the older niggas be hearing this shit like, for real, but nah.
Niggas like, yo, what did the nigga just say? What did he mean by that?
Yeah, for real.
What do you mean by that?
Nah, but it's fire when you got somebody like that who could understand both languages, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, and it's deadly because, you know, it's proof in the pudding. He's gonna be going for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
He's always gonna get his flowers, man. And another thing I want to talk to you about, I think, is very essential, and I think you'd probably have a good list. Like, what is like your top 3 essential albums?
Ooh, top 3 essential albums. Fuck, this is a hard one, but
damn, I feel like 3's kind of fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Is 3 fucked up, or you go with
3? I got you 3.
Okay.
If I got to do more, I'll let you know. But
let's cap it at 5 if you gotta do more.
All right, cool. For one, Mad Villainy by MF Doom and Madlib. Definitely 1-2 by Sister Nancy.
Damn.
Yeah, that's I run that shit.
I'm Jamaican, so that's
that's one of them.
That's Sunday music.
Yeah,
that's party music, dance music, everything.
That's one of my ones. Damn, now I'm trying to think of the third. Third album, some shit I really rinsed. Ooh, it's a crazy one. I'm not gonna lie, 6 Feet Beneath the Moon by King Crew. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit changed my, like in high school, that shit definitely changed my life. No cap. What else? I'm not gonna lie. That V's album from last year,
album of the year, standing on that.
Right, we was in fucking Portugal, like when that shit dropped. Bro, I'm not like I can't listen to that album without like seeing like I just like that should just take me back to like driving through the streets in Portugal and shit. Like,
bro, that's the best. Like when you have an album that goes as a soundtrack to a time in your life or a summer.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I need that every year, every summer, every great moment and trip. Like
that shit is different.
It just hits different. For me, it was so funny because we was talking about Nudie earlier. Bro, when Nudie Land came out and we were on Melrose, oh my God,
Jesus
bro.
Christ.
Niggas had just started scamming big bodies.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Like that time period was crazy.
Bro, streets is going crazy.
Crazy, man.
For real.
Crazy, man.
But nah, those is right for right now some of my top ones for real.
And so you got the festival coming up.
Hell yeah.
Talk a little about that and what people can look for. I seen that Supreme is also involved. Supreme New York.
Hell yeah,
that's dope. That's a major look right there.
Yeah, that's the family, man. That's the family. Yeah. It's love. I feel like the festival. I feel like is. I feel like I'm grateful to be able to present some shit like that, and I'm grateful for even like I moved to Brooklyn when I was maybe like 14 years old, and I always felt like not being born in Brooklyn, I always be like I don't even really be claiming New York too much like that. Even when like the blogs be like putting like Brooklyn Bigs rapper, I'd be like fuck. But I'm like, all right, like this is my way to like give back to the community and just like everything that shit has like been for me, because that shit really is like the home or like where my shit really blew up, you know what I mean? Where I met a lot of my close homies from now. But yeah, the park that we hosted in, like I've like bought weed in that park, like walked through that park so many times, like it's yeah. So it's just a special thing, like to do something there that like the people from the neighborhood be coming to, and like one of my favorite things about it, there's always like at the beginning of it, there's always like hella like older people who like just put their lawn chairs in the front of this shit, so they got their space, and it just be hella like the older people in the front just posted up watching this shit, and that should be meaning the world to me, because I'm like, bruh, like we really like connecting different generations like all in this one place, you know what I mean? Yeah. But this year is a special one. We got my big brother Earl Sweatshirt about to play that John.
Yeah.
We got Star, who is featured on a lot of MF Doom's projects, and Stacey Epps, who's on that like my favorite album, Mad Villainy. She's on this one song, Lucky, my favorite song on the project. She's about to be there as well. We got Maya P from Milwaukee. We got my other big brother Sideshow as well about to be on that John.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about to be a special one. The shit that's crazy about it that I didn't realize is that like having so much of the peoples from like MF Doom's side of the thing, like it's about to be on July 13th, which is his birthday. So like, yeah, It's kind of crazy. It's so wild how this shit like comes together, and it's just like,
obviously, having Earl come there, someone that nigga, when he first bought your album on Bandcamp, you lost your fucking mind.
Yeah,
like,
for
and
real.
now that was years ago, and now you guys have built this relationship, rapped on songs together. He's about to come perform at your festival. Talk a little bit about you guys' relationship dynamic, and I'm sure Earl's been someone in the game for a long time, so I'm sure he's dropped a lot of gems in game for you.
For sure, he put me onto a lot. Like that's like, I don't know, like I be telling him he a humble dude. I feel like he don't be wanting to own up to it, but I'm like, nigga, like you helped me change my life for real, you know what I mean? I'm like, you was a young nigga when you did that shit too. Like that be the shit that be busting my head. Like I met him when I was 2017. I think I must have been like 2017. I was like 18. I met that nigga when I was 18. His ass must have been like 23, 24 type shit. And I'm 25 now, bro, and I be thinking like, bro, maybe I'm sleep on myself, but I be feeling like such a kid. So like, I be like, bro, the power niggas be having to change niggas' lives. Like,
it's
I'm
crazy.
Like, bro, it's ridiculous. And like, you as a kid, like, I even think about that with my homie Navin. Like, when I met him, he was 21. And I'd be like, bro, you like, I was like, bro, you really dedicated like some like young years to like making sure like we were straight in this shit.
To get to this point.
You know what I mean?
And beyond.
It's fucked up. But like realizing that like, fuck, we was babies. Like, we was literally babies. Like, I don't know. I'm just super grateful. I'm super grateful that like we was young niggas like taking a chance like with each other and shit. But that's really my big brother, man. Like always like putting me on this shit. Like every time, like he's one nigga that like the one thing I say him and my other like big homie Sage taught me, like, bruh, like, and this is just an example of the type of shit that I be getting from these people. Like back then when I had first linked them, I was just like super pop. I had like dropped out of college, but like on some secret shit, like didn't tell my family and shit. So I just couldn't like really be asking for money because like I wasn't trying to tell niggas like what was going on and shit. And I also just like was like not on no job shit. Like I tried to get a job at Chipotle and they smoked me, like completely smoked me. So I would pull up on them niggas, and them niggas like, whenever they eat, they like buy food for everybody, like whoever is there and shit. And that shit had just like inspired me so much because like I wouldn't even tell them niggas, but like a lot of the times that like I would be there, like I wouldn't have no bread to eat shit, and them niggas would low-key be the only way that I would eat and shit. And that shit had like low-key inspired me to like, bruh, like once I started getting my own reach, like I'm like, yeah, whoever's in the room, if we in the room together, everybody about to eat, you know what I mean? And like that shit made me think that like, fuck, like they inspired me to do that shit. I'm inspiring my homies to do that shit. Enough times of like inspiring the homies, like nobody will ever be hungry again. And I'm like, yeah, like that's a big, I'm like, that's a big,
no, that's a big thing because
I mean?
it's
like,
so funny. I've been reflecting on that too. It's like, I've been doing some deals and stuff too. I've brought, some artists some deals and niggas like, damn, bro, I just made, what the fuck? I just made, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's so crazy. We are now in the position to really just change somebody's life, like by just giving them opportunity or them just being around. Like, oh yeah, let's do that. Like,
yeah, and it be the little shit, like, and that's the shit I was grateful for. I feel like especially with Tebe and Sage is that like it was teaching me shit about the music industry shit, but also just about like being a man as well, bro, and like being like what it is to like be in a community and like how I could play a part. So that shit just always just meant the world to me. Like, and it's always, even till today, it's a headbutts because that nigga was like my favorite rapper.
Yeah.
And now that's like the real homie, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know, that shit is a blessing.
Also too, one thing I definitely want to touch on with you is obviously, you're an amazing rapper. I think just creatively, like how do you approach a song? How, the studio session, what is the creative process for Mike?
Yeah, I was fucked up. I try and keep it so casual. Like I got my setup in my bedroom. I'll like just like make a loop and just let that shit play all day and then like walk around the crib, play the video game, just like do random shit. And then whenever something pop up, just like write a line. I might write a couple lines. And then maybe I'll go experience life, go bike riding or some shit. I'll come back. Like there's a few ones where like I like make a beat in the morning and go out. We'll go get dinner, go get clapped. Then I'll come back home like, yeah, I'm about to go crazy. like I done taken in like enough of the day. Like I'm about to release this shit.
So it has to be like life living. Like you gotta, you're just transferring what you went through and onto wax.
For sure, yeah. I've always tried to like be a conceptual artist, but like I don't even think my brain like has the capacity for that shit. So like I realized that a lot of my music just become like almost like a diary, like just like me recapping on like everything that's happened, you know what I mean?
And you definitely get that. It's very reflective in your music. That's one of the things that, and even Earl even said that that's the thing he liked about it. He's like, you're talking about shit that other niggas aren't even talking about.
It's I feel like it's a blessing for me too, because I don't have not much, I don't have like many hobbies that's like, some people be journaling and shit, like have diaries, like I feel like my albums is always like a way for me to like remember like what the year was like and shit,
That's fire, man. We got to talk about, you rapping so many words in your bars. How do you remember like all these lyrics like to go perform?
It's hard as fuck. I be feeling so bad when I be at the show and a nigga be like, perform this song. And I'm like, nigga, I do not know the lyrics, bro. I'm like, I don't even know what to tell you, bro. Like, for real. Like, I wish I could. But really, it'd be difficult, but I think there's certain songs that, not to be like head ass, but like I be having like more of like a spiritual connection with that. Like, those be the songs that I could remember kind of without really thinking about it. And those are the ones that I like kind of gravitate more towards performing and shit.
You can feel the noticeable difference when you're performing it.
Yeah, exactly. Because some shit would feel like a task, and then some shit just be like, all right, this is just coming off the bat. You know what I mean?
Is there a one song like particular you can say?
Like one that I always keep on the set, it's just one song called Whole Wide World. Yeah, that song just feels like I get the same feeling every single time I perform that song. And I released it like a couple years ago, like, you know what I mean? But it's just one that I know, like, especially when I'm performing, it's such a personal experience for me that I need certain things to make it feel like it's me on stage or like this is my place right now. So there's like certain songs that almost have like become a ritual for me to like, this is me taking over the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, your space. Like I'm delivering to you guys.
Cool.
So you've been on tour. Usually people are, you know, while they're on tour, so many, you know, fresh vibes, new experiences, things to see. Usually recording. Are you recording right now while you're on tour?
We ain't recording nothing yet. Shit been moving way too fucking fast. Like too many long ass drives, but definitely been making beats and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, just like the shit I have been doing, making music videos, also random shit.
Yeah.
I like been shooting music videos for the homies on tour. And then when I was on the Europe tour, I like shot music videos for all the homies that was on that run as well. And that shit been fun, like just like on my GoPro. I just been looking for shit to like keep my brain going whenever I'm not writing or anything. But I definitely have been writing some music. Like we just been on the road for too fucking long, but.
Any thoughts like plan for a project or anything?
Hell yeah, I got too many ideas. I'm just like, I need to be home for longer than a week. For
to be able to convey everything.
I feel like I got a lot of recorded music that need to drop, but we got like, me and Tony Seltzer got the part 2 for Pinball.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like shit low-key been done. We got, I got some shit with Surf Gang as well, low-key.
Shout out Surf Gang, man.
Yeah, the legends Harrison and Gianni. Those are the ghosts. I got some personal shit I'm planning on dropping. I'm still figuring out the date, but I think it's gonna be called Man in the Mirror.
Why Man in the Mirror?
I think I'm about to enter my Michael Jackson bag, low key, for real. I think it's time to be a smooth criminal.
Oh man, I love that, man.
For real.
This is gonna be very reflective too.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's gonna be very reflective. I think I feel like we was talking about earlier with like even the being scared about releasing a certain type of music. I think like with the past releases, it's kind of like done something to my confidence now where I feel like I could do anything, like manipulate the music in any type of way where I'm like, all right, cool. This one's about to be the real mastermind, mastermind project, you know what I mean? So
my mic like this, Man in the Mirror, rubs hands, nigga.
No cap. So yeah. Nah, I'm just excited, bro. I'm excited. I feel like this music shit is a blessing and the different ways it could just like go. It's just, it's really exciting.
Yeah. Why do you feel like it's so important for you to, you know, stay independent?
I feel like the thing about being independent, you want to be in control of what you're doing, like at all times. If you have a team, you want the team. Like me and I've been working, like I said, since I was like 21. I must have been like 17, 18. But Brody, we have a relationship in the sense of like he cared about me as a friend. He cared about like, I think even if we wasn't working together, like, which at the beginning we wasn't working together, but I could tell that like what niggas had going on, he was just so invested in it, you know what I mean? And I think like that's the biggest label you could have. Like that's the biggest, yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's the biggest like support you could have. Like don't work with a label until they invested in you like how your family would be invested in you, you know what I mean? Because you making the money, like don't ever think you're not making the money, like
100%.
You know what I mean? Like even if you're not making no money, you making the money, like and that's the real crazy part about it. So I think like even when it comes to the label shit, like you gotta like don't do it until it's a partnership and both people are like we both investing a lot into this. So it's either people be like, don't mix family and business, but bro, I'm not gonna lie, we not doing business unless you family. Yeah,
you gotta be able to, you know, roast a good backwood over the fire while we had dinner, man.
I'm saying for real, bro, and talk business like, and that's literally what the dinners be for. I'm telling you, had the grabber roasting on the candle, just talking business.
See how you react. Like, you down for this? This is how I get down. That's what Mike does.
I'm fucking dead.
This is what Mike does is fire. Actually, like that'd be hard. Lifestyle shit. This is what Mike does. But yo, Mike, we usually do this to close it out and everything. What is your message for our generation?
Ooh, message for our generation, bruh. Keep fighting, bruh. Keep being courageous. Like, I know niggas be talking down on this generation, bruh, but I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen more fighters, more people that are willing to change shit. Niggas that like, even if I'm talking about like activists, but even like the students fighting for the injustices going on in Palestine and shit, and niggas out in LA, like UCLA, all them students, all these colleges back home and shit, NYU and Columbia, all that shit, like niggas, I've never seen niggas be so courageous, bro. I'm glad I'm able to live in a time where niggas is like on they shit, but from that shit to like niggas that's like back in the street and niggas is like, yeah, like, we about to get to this bag. Like, I've seen it over COVID. Like, niggas go from like really being like on the block to like, yeah, now becoming a BBS chain. I'm like, bro, everybody got their path, bro. I'm like, keep doing that shit. Like, it might not be the most perfect shit, but as long as you're taking it one step away from where it was, you're gonna teach somebody else how to take that next step. You know what I mean? So that's my message, bro. Keep doing that shit.
My boy, appreciate you locking with us, man.
Appreciate you.
Make sure y'all go check Mike out on tour, man. He's gonna be on tour for a little bit more while, man.
Come on, somebody find his trouble.